El fenómeno de Taylor Swift continúa siendo imparable. La artista está rompiendo todos los récords en su gira de The Eras Tour, que arrancó en Estados Unidos en marzo del 2023 y ahora está recorriendo toda Europa. Durante esta gira está acompañada por Travis Kelce, el jugador profesional de fútbol americano con quien mantiene una relación amorosa desde el año pasado. Y es que a ambos se les vio hace unos días en Londres juntos en un restaurante. Y para esta velada, Taylor eligió un vestido de manga larga tejido a crochet, ya que es uno de los looks en tendencia para este verano, tal y como les avisé en este video. El crochet este verano es tendencia pura. La mejor opción es optar por un top o blusa de tonos neutros o pasteles para equilibrar el volumen de la falda globo. La falda podría... El famoso vestido de Taylor Swift es de la marca australiana Virgin Gear y destaca por su estilo sesentero, con las mangas largas acampanadas y confeccionado en tonos naranja, marrón, blanco, crema y lila. Tiene un costo de 115,95 €. Y como era de esperarse, las fans de Taylor, las mismas que para los conciertos no han dudado en pasar horas y horas haciendo su propio body con incrustaciones de piedrería o recreando otros de los estilos icónicos de la estrella musical. Sí, ellas mismas. En apenas unas horas las fanáticas de Taylor agotaron la existencia de este hermoso vestido. Este lindo vestido de Taylor Swift tejido a crochet en estos momentos cuenta con una larga lista de espera. De hecho, en las redes sociales, algunas usuarias que han encargado el vestido afirman que no lo recibirán hasta septiembre, por lo que prácticamente no tendrán tiempo de estrenarlo este verano. El diseño ha desatado una auténtica locura, y es obvio que esto no detendría a la Swiftie. Muchas se han animado a hacer su propio vestido a crochet inspirado en el de Taylor. Incluso muchas TikTokers han compartido en las redes sociales el paso a paso de la confección, desde los colores que debes elegir hasta los patrones para acertar con las diferentes tallas, para que todas las fanáticas puedan recrear sin problemas uno de los vestidos más virales del momento. El vestido de crochet de Taylor Swift está hecho a base de grannies, lo que se te hará muy fácil de tejer. He realizado muchas prendas en mi canal con este punto. A continuación te dejaré las mejores recopilaciones de TikTok que explica cómo realizar esta pieza. No olviden seguir a las crocheteras y creadoras de este tutorial en TikTok.
I was a bit late getting started on this project, but I literally started this last night and I'm already completely done with the back. So it's a super easy project, super beginner friendly, and I'm about to show you how you can recreate this. As I'm working on the front and the arms, I will also update you with what to do. So let's go. You'll need a small crochet hook and 4 different colours in cotton. I'm using 8 ply from Bendigo Woolen Mills. In my first test, I did use a chain to start with, but it ended up creating a bit of a curve because it was too small for the rest of the project. So I'm actually using a foundation single crochet, and I'm just going to show you now how to do that. So you'll chain 2, you'll insert your hook into the second chain from the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over again, and then pull through both loops. You are now going to insert your hook into that third little bump there at the bottom and then repeat the same process. So you'll pull up a loop, you'll yarn over again, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. I'd recommend screenshotting the size chart I'm about to show you so you know how many foundation single crochets to do. The measurements you can see are the length of the dress from the shoulder. This technique is the best way to ensure that your starting row will be the same tension as the rest of your project. Once you've got all of your foundation single crochets done, come back here for part 2. Here we go, part 2. We're making the back. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, we're making this crochet dress that Taylor Swift wore recently. Here's a little recap of what we covered in part 1. You should have a foundation single crochet row that matches one of the measurements. I'm a size 10 to 12 and I'm following the medium pattern. So once you've got your foundation single crochet row, you're going to chain 4. Then you are going to double crochet into the third single crochet from the foundation row. So you'll have essentially skipped 2 stitches. You'll do 2 more double crochets in that same stitch, so there'll be 3 in total. You're then going to chain 1, skip 2 more of the foundation single crochets and repeat what we've just done. So 3 double crochets into that same stitch. It will start to look like this. You'll repeat that pattern until the end of the row. Here we'll chain 4, turn our work around, and repeat what we've just done, but we're going to be double crocheting into the chain 1 spaces from the previous row rather than into the actual stitches. That chain 4 at the start of each row will allow you to finish every row neatly with 3 double crochets. You can see here the hole that we've left previously for you to finish on. The color pattern is just a repetition of what's on the screen. These are the sizes that I have approximated. I would be more looking at the measurements listed rather than the letter sizing, because the letter sizing might not correspond to what you normally would wear. And also, just as you go, just test it on yourself and see if it feels right. If you want to add a couple of rows, go for it. Just make sure that you're matching it when we do the front. Completely up to you. This is your project. I will see you soon for part 3. I cannot believe we're already at part 3 of our crochet Taylor Swift dress. This is literally the quickest dress that I've ever made. This time we're working on the front. It's not quite as easy to see on the Taylor Swift photos, so I'm going to show you on the original websites. The dress is originally designed by VRG Girl, so full credit for the design of this dress goes to them. I want you to kind of decide where you want your decreases to start based on where it's sitting on your shoulders. The goal is to kind of have your decreases starting about here. What they've done is the first 13 rows as normal as the back was, and then they've decreased by 3 granny stitches in row 14. Row 15 has 1 more decrease, row 16 has 1 more decrease. They've done straight across for the next 14 rows, 1 increase, another increase, and then 3 increases to get back to that purple shoulder there. The scoop neck is 20 rows. So now I'm going to show you how to do those decreases. So you're going to skip 3 of the granny stitches and insert your hook into the 3rd chain space. You'll pull up a loop and chain 4 and double crochet 3 into the next chain space. Complete the rest of the row as normal. Once you make your way back to the scoop neck side with the next row, stop before crocheting in that last chain space. Fasten off and turn. Insert your hook into that first chain space, pull up a loop, chain 4 and double crochet 3 into the next chain space. You'll have now created your scoop neck shape. Complete the next desired amount of rows as normal and come back to the next video for the increase side. I am obsessed. I think this is going to be so cute. We've done the decrease for our scoop neck, so let's get into the increase side. When you reach the end of your last straight across row, you're going to chain 3 plus an additional 4, which will create a chain 1 space. You're then going to do 3 double crochets into the very first chain. This counts as 1 increase. Finish the row as normal and then the next row after that. Finish that next row in the chain 1 space you created just before with those extra 4 chains. And now this is where we are going to go back to the same height as the other shoulder. If you do it using chains like we just did before, it creates this curve. So we're not going to do it with chains. We're actually going to do it with a foundation single crochet again, just like how we started the project. So you'll foundation single crochet 12. If you need a refresher, go back to part 1. We'll then chain 4, which will create our first chain 1 space. And then just like we did to start our project, we'll skip 2 of the foundation single crochets and do 3 double crochets into that 3rd single crochet from the foundation row. You can see how much neater this foundation row is compared to the chain that we just did before. Yay! You can always fold it in half and just double check that it's matching. Ours is looking great. And this is how it is going to start looking once you finish the rest of the shoulder. I am obsessed. I think this is going to be so cute. I love the length. I'm really happy with that. I followed the medium instructions and I'm a size 10 to 12. So go based on whatever you think will be best for you. Loving it so far and can't wait to do the sleeve.
With deep friends, I've got my yarn, I've got my coffee. Let's get started. Okay, so starting in lavender, I'm going to chain 138 times per the pattern. I know that it probably won't be that much. So this is why I tell you guys you need to measure for your own self, because at 138 chains, mine goes past my knees. And I'm not looking for that, so I'm going to take out chains by multiples of 3. Now if you're tall, you can add more, but if you need to make sure that they're multiples of 3. I'm going to be taking out some of these chains in multiples of 3. All right, so this is at 130 and it's just above my knee. I might go to 127. I ended up with 127. Now my second row begins with skipping 6 stitches and then a cluster, chaining 1, then skipping 3, chaining 1, and keep doing clusters. I ended up with 31 total clusters. If anybody needs me to go over that slower, I can absolutely do that. Just for the sake of time in this video, that's what I'm doing for the first 2 rows. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn your work, chain 1, actually I'm sorry, chain 4, and then you're going to cluster into the empty stitches, and then chain 1, skip the 3 stitches, and then double crochet into the empty cluster until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back there. When I get to the very last stitch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my purple, and I want to end up adding the brown. So on my second yarn over, I'm going to exchange the purple for the brown, and then I'm going to chain 4 and turn my work. Okay, just as a reminder for what our colorway is before we get started with the next couple rows. I'm starting with the first round of purple, so I went purple, purple, then it's going to be brown, white, brown, white, brown, and then 4 rows of the coral. You're going to do this a couple times until you get to your desired whatever this is, and however long you want this to be. You need to do a front panel, a back panel, and then 2 side panels for your sleeves, and then I'll show you how to sew those all together once we are there. But that is the colorway, and then you just keep going again, starting again at the purple. But for now we're starting with the purple, and then we're going to end at the last row of the 4th orange, and then so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows, and you're going to do it. I feel like I'll end up doing it 2 or 3 times on both panels, but it's totally up to how it drapes. Let's get into the next step. So I'm going to go over the last cluster again for when you need to change your color. So I'm on the last purple, and I only did 2 of my 3 clusters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, put my hook in, yarn over, pull through that first, and then on the second pull through I'm going to add my brown, and I'm going to just pull through, and I'm going to make sure I have a long enough tail. Quite honestly, I'm just going to cut these and weave them in because I can't be bothered to untangle the yarn. And as if you've seen any of my previous projects, then you would know that I do not mind weaving ends in. So I'm just going to snip this, call it a day. We'll come back to the purple when we need purple. I'm going to chain 4 to secure that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do all my clusters again till I get to the end. And yeah, I mean, this is very simple once you get the hang of it. Anybody, oh geez, it's very slippery. It's because it's hot here. Anybody can really get the hang of this once you figure out the basic stitch. But yeah, so I'm going to do brown till I get to the end, and then I'm going to touch the white and show you that. Alright, so I'm literally going to do the same thing I just did to the brown, but with the white. So I have my 2 double crochets of my cluster. I'm going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. On this second pull through, I'm going to add the white. I'm going to pull through, make sure I have a long enough tail. There we go. And then I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4, and turn my work. And then I'm actually not going to cut this brown yet, only because I think I could grab it when it's time to do that part. But I'm literally just going to keep going until I get to the end, and then I'll attach my brown and do the white again, and then I'll check back with you guys and see what you guys need, if you need help with anything, and I'll do a little tutorial of that. So this is my back panel, and then I have my front panel. This part is done for my front panel. I'm a fast crocheter, so this is where we're at right now. Okay, so I took a little pool break to crochet, and this is where we're at. I started the front and the back panels at the same time because it's easier for me to work this way, or else it's not getting done. If it needs to be separate, I need to do them at the same time or it's not getting done. So this is what it looks like so far. And then if I, you know, just casually drape it over my shoulder, I saw some people saying that it looks like it would be too short. No, it is perfect so far. So yeah, this is the first panel. I think I'm gonna need to do it 1, 2, probably about 3 times on both sides. But yeah, I'm really excited with it, and I really like the color choices. I like that I went for a slightly brighter orange. Yeah, this is just how I wanted to do it. So this is where we're at. It's not as heavy as you might think. It's quite light. I don't think it's scratchy. But yeah, I'm super excited about it, and this is what we got so far. And a nice little scarf. So you are going to begin your decreases when you have 13 of these full rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so that should be on the brown if you're following the original colorway, and doing it the same way that I'm doing it. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually continue doing your clusters until you get to the very last cluster all the way on the other side, and I will come back. All right, so now that you're at the end of the 13th row, what you're going to do is you are just going to put 1 double crochet into your last cluster or chain space. And don't forget about the color changes, because I just forgot and did the whole row brown, and I did not want that. So don't make the same mistake I did, and make sure that you do that. So you're going to now chain 4, turn your work, and you are actually going to skip this chain space right here, and you're going to go right into here and do your 3 double crochet clusters, or your cluster, I'm sorry, not your 3 double crochet clusters. 2 and 3. Oop. And with this, I originally have 31 clusters going all the way across my dress. I have 31 total. With this white one on this row, it's going to make just 30. Your amount of clusters is going to be different depending on how much or how long you made your dress, but mine has 31 and now it has 30. So again, don't forget to change the color while you're working, because that is super important. So again, I originally had 31 clusters. Now I have 30. I'm going to continue doing 30 clusters and just continue on like that for a couple rows. Now let me preface this by saying that this is the back panel. I will do a video on the front panel because it is slightly different. I don't know how much I'm going to look at and rely on Sonia's pattern, because it doesn't fit me. Like all of my measurements are very different from the measurements of her pattern, so take that with a grain of salt. But I am going to try my best to do my own measurements to match it up, because yeah, I want it to fit me and not somebody else. So yeah. All right, so this is the back panel. I'm a little more than halfway done. I think that I'm going to do the rest of the orange as decreases, and then I think I'm gonna start increasing, because I'm running out of space on my body because I'm short, and this is why I didn't follow Sonia's pattern, because you just don't know how everything is gonna lay out on your body when it's a pattern like this. So yeah, always measure with your own work and your own tension and how you crochet. All right, so I'm ready to start increasing my stitches for my neck. All that you want to do is make sure that when you are starting your increase again, that it's on like the same side, because this side is obviously a little bit lower, whereas this side is all even. So you want to make sure that you're on the right side when you're working. But what I'm going to do is I am simply just going to put in 2 double crochets, and that is it. And I'm going to change my yarn color. We're working with brown now. Don't forget that. And yeah, and then you're just going to chain 4, turn your work, and work with your clusters as normal. Now this is just a little reminder that let me count, hold on. This is a little reminder that this is the back panel. So the, oh, what the heck? So that the, it's a little, the neckline is not as dramatic. Sorry, couldn't get my words out. Chain 1, and then yeah, you just keep going until it is the width that you want it to be. I probably won't go much further. It is pretty much at my shoulders already, but yeah, that's where we're at. Hopefully this was helpful. I am probably going to take a break from crocheting for the night, but I will get the front panel tutorial for the decreases and increases when I feel rejuvenated, because I crocheted a lot today and my wrists hurt because I did not do any stretches. So yeah, I hope this was super helpful for you. Let me know if there's anything else you need and I will try to help you. Alright guys, I have a little update for you. So I finished the front and the back panel. This is the back panel and this is the front panel. They're all done. I'm going to try it on now. And I am fully aware that it's going to look like a potato sack right now. I just use stitch markers to do that, but it's literally going to look like a potato sack now until I sew it up and do the sleeves. But this is where we're at. I'm super excited about it, and a lot of people are asking me what you would wear under this. A bathing suit, a jumpsuit, a normal dress, like a skin tight dress, I'm sure. But yeah, this is what we're at so far. It looks like a potato sack, but I love it. Here are the skeins. I've only used one so far. If I only bought one of each color, I think I'd be fine, except for maybe the orange. But this is where we're at. I usually wear a size small, medium. It depends on what it is, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, I gotta stitch this together and I have to do the sleeves. I actually kind of like the little fringes on the bottom. I'm not gonna keep them, but I think it's silly. But yeah, here we are. Okay, while I have the potato sack on, I'm gonna take my giant box of stitch markers. You get these, this one's from Amazon because I always need a lot for my projects. And I'm gonna just start marking where the armhole is gonna be. So I'm not gonna do every single open chain stitch. I'm just gonna mark a couple and then do the same thing on the other side. I still have to do the sleeves. Am I doing the sleeves? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the sleeves. Part of me is like, no, just leave it as a tank top, like a sleeveless dress like this. I'm not gonna, but I am thinking about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this on the other side, and then I will show you how I'm gonna sew the seams together. Easy peasy. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to show you. So yeah. Alright, while I have it stitch marked, I'm going to use orange to join, and what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to single crochet in all of the stitches that I've seen. So alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use orange just because I have so much. Actually, I don't have that much of it, but I think the orange will just bring it all together. And I'm just going to single crochet all the way along And I'm going to try to move all of the yarn excess, and I'm just going to, every time I can see like a little stitch like right here, I'm going to do a single crochet over it. And I'm going to try to crochet over my ends, but that just might not be a possibility. And when I hit a chain space, I'm actually going to crochet 3 times into it. Where is this coming from? So this is why you should probably weave in your ends before you do this, but I like to make things difficult, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to crochet over them. Now I'm over here, and I'm going to do 3, and then when I get to the neckline, I'm just going to cut off my yarn, and when I get to that, I will show you. Okay, so I just crocheted all the way to the neckline, and here you can see that I crocheted over some of these ends. I will tie them all and then cut them off, and that's one way that you can weave in your ends. But now that I'm at the neckline, I have to cut this off, so I'm just gonna literally chain 1 and then cut it off. Alright, so now that I'm on the other side, I'm just going to find this, connect this, make sure it's all lined up. This is what your stitch markers are for. I just took mine out. And I'm going to single crochet over the ends, preferably, so that way you don't have to weave in so many. I'm going to do 3 crochets into one of them. And maybe you're not supposed to do a crochet stitch into the granny stitch, but like I'm gonna do it that way. And I know that you can totally join these using the granny stitch. I do not have the wherewithal to do that right now. So if you want to do that, you can absolutely look up how to join using the granny stitch or the cluster. I am just gonna do it the easy way because that's how I want to do it. But if you want to do it that way, go for it. And then when we get to the end, we're going to cut off, and then you can start sewing your sleeves together. Alright, so my potato sack is all put together. It's all stitched. There are no seams that need to be stitched now. I forgot to mention a very important part of crocheting this together. What you need to do is you need to flip it inside out. So when you were doing your seaming and your single crochets to stitch them together, that is the inside. It's the inside, okay? So when you're done, flip it right side out, and you won't see the seam. See? It has a nice even, not bumpy, no seam, nothing. That's on the inside. See? You can see the difference. You don't want that on the outside. It doesn't look good when it's on the outside, so make sure that it's on the inside. And now all I have left to do is weave in the ends, and guys, don't hate me. I'm not going to add sleeves to mine because I'm truly not a sleeves girly. I really did think that I was going to add sleeves to it and like it, but I don't think I'll wear it if it has sleeves. And I spent like 10 hours total making this, and I want to be able to wear it, and I truly don't think I'll wear it if there's sleeves. But it is just the same process, and you have the hole. All you do is attach it just like that. But yeah, so now all I have left is the little fringes, and we're gonna do that together. Okay, now to get rid of these insane ends. So what I did was, off camera, I went around and I actually tied them all together because, yeah, I figured it'll be easier to crochet over them, because I have decided to do one single crochet border all around it and see how that looks. If I don't like it, I'll just take it out, but I'm gonna do that. That way I can crochet over the ends instead of weaving them into each one of these granny clusters, which would take too long, and I just don't want to do that right now. So I'm just going to start at the seam that we made when we joined them together. It's right here. And I'm just going to, whoop, I'm discombobulated. There we go. I'm just going to insert my hook into that seam right there from the inside, and then, oh, there we go. All right. And I'm going to grab my tail so I can yarn over it. And I'm just going to do single crochets the same way that I did to join. And I'm going to do 3 in all of the cluster stitches, and it'll be a lot easier. All right, so I went all the way around the bottom of the dress with a single crochet just to make a nice border, and this is my last little bit that I have to cut, and then I am end free. There's a whole bunch. Like, this is my pile of all the ends, and that's not even all of them, so yeah. Okay, so my dress is done. I may add the sleeves at a later date because everybody's like, no, make the sleeves. I might make the sleeves and then maybe just not attach them, but I need a break from crochet. My hands, wrists, and elbows hurt so badly because when I put my mind to something, it's going to be done. And this is for me, this was a project that I could do in a day and a half and be done. And I pushed myself to the limits. So if I'm going to make the sleeves, it'll be like when my body stops hurting. But yeah, so I'm done for now. I will do a cute little reveal later. But yeah, I hope that it helps you. And if you want me to do any other tutorials or anything, please let me know, because I've had such a good time doing this.